Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is ready for this Tuesday, December 31st, so you know what that means. No, you don't. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. It is I, Jeremy Pierce. Come on, check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. I apologize for this getting out so late. I have been sick, but I could not leave you all empty-handed. So without further ado, let's get into the news. AEW tried reaching a deal with Sportsnet. As you know, Sportsnet is like the top sports channel in Canada, and seeing as how WWE will leave Sportsnet, Sportsnet replaced WWE with TNA has been having promoting them. Essentially, Sportsnet wanted to get TNA instead of AEW, which is all well and good. So AEW will stay on TSN, and also they extended their free-to-air TV deal with ITTV. This is the home of wrestling in the UK, so they'll be getting AEW for a good long while. The reason they set up this partnership was essentially it's working around with TNT Sports, but it's not really working in Europe, so they had to stick with ITTV. Athena has announced her Stardom debut. As you know, she will be facing off in that Fatal 4-Way at the women's tournament, but she will also be teaming up with Thekla. This is absolutely fantastic. She will be teaming up with Thekla. I don't know who their opponents are just yet, but this is going to be good. These are two of the best in the world today. Vince McMahon has asked for a judge to push the Janelle Grant case to arbitration. He does not want to get the trial, because if he gets the trial, it might be all over for him. We will see how Janelle Grant and her team takes this offer. Netflix will be ruling out the WWE content starting January 1st. Most of the content from, well, not most, a lot of the content from Peacock will be moving over to Netflix. So they'll be starting with the WWE Top 10, Raw Classics, Road to WrestleMania, Superstar Profiles, and Legends Profiles. Dustin Rhodes has signed a new deal with AEW, a multi-year deal. The natural just doesn't age, man. This guy is going to be here for a good long while. Right now, he's the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion and Ring of Honor 6-Man Tag Team Champion. So that is good for him. Tamela has announced her return to wrestling. As you know, she took time off due to injury and pregnancy. So she was starting with Stardom. She'll be wrestling over there at Stardom's New Year's Dream on January 3rd at the Tokyo Golden Theater. She'll team up with Mina Shirakawa to take on, well, guess what? Athena and Thekla. This is going to be real good. I like this idea of the women going over to Japan to get more work. This is how, because it really, really worked for Anna Jay. WWE is considering moving not only the Money in the Bank show, but the Royal Rumble to 2 nights. Now, listen, and I get why they're doing it. You can have each night headlined by the men's or women's events, but this is just dumb. Mark Cuban said something very, very powerful. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. This doesn't need to happen. You can open up the show with the Money in the Bank, end the show with the Money in the Bank, open up the show with the Royal Rumble, end the show with the Royal Rumble. This doesn't need to happen, because SummerSlam is moving to 2 nights. You can keep Raw and you can keep WrestleMania at 2 nights, but you already run not a lot of matches on these events. So why do we think you will run more matches on a 2-night event? The reason that Lucha Brothers have backstage issues with AEW is they felt stagnant. They felt they've done all that they could, and they knew that WWE wanted them, and that's what it is essentially. So Penta will be coming to WWE very, very soon, whereas Phoenix has maybe up to a year of time left on his contract. We had a Tony Khan media call for World's End, and he touched on a plethora of things. First was the ratings, how will they be handled with the new Warner Bros. Discovery deal. And this is coming from Brandon Thurston. He says, we're going to pay attention to the ratings, but the rating data really doesn't matter anymore since you're streaming both on live television and you're doing simulcast on HBO Max. He also explained his TSN extension for the Dynamite Collision's Canadian move. It's just that, like we talked about this before, it just works for them. It's a deal that's working. They don't need to fix anything that's not broken. He also refused to comment on the recent accusations made against the AEW legal team. That will stay behind closed doors, and it's mainly about the BJ Whitmer, Jamie Horn allegations that will stay behind closed doors. So, he kind of addressed the possibility of a women's Continental Classic. Says, yes, we've got the roster there. A lot of it is just injuries. No, you have plenty of talent right now who can run the Continental Classic. You need 5 women from each for each league. And mind you, I did a show on the Continental Classic, on a women's Continental Classic. Let's look at the AEW roster and the Ring of Honor roster right now. So on the AEW women's roster alone, you have Mercedes Moné. Who would you really be in certain field? Mercedes Moné, Serena Deonna Purrazzo, Britt Baker, Soraya Diamante, Ruby Soho, which comes back from her pregnancy, Taya Valkyrie, Kiera Hogan, Ty Conti, Nyla Rose, Emi Sakura, Toni Storm, Marina Shafir, Penelope Ford, Riho, Hikaru Shida, Kris Statlander, Anna Jay, Layla Hirsch, Red Velvet, Thunder Rosa, Abaddon, Julia Hart, Trisha Dora, Willow Nightingale, Jamie Hayter, Sky Blue, Queen Amanada, Mariah May, Harley Cameron, Layla Gray, Camille, and that's it. That's just the AEW women's roster alone. Yes, you can run a women's Continental Classic, Tony. Don't give me that excuse about injuries. Most of those women aren't even injured, but I digress. Tony kind of also addressed possible roster cuts. Since we're losing that hour of Rampage, how will the talent get on TV? I said this before, that they're going to miss that hour of Rampage because that allowed a lot of people to get onto TV that couldn't get onto Dynamite, that couldn't get onto Collision. And he's addressed it. He says he's going to do his best to get people online on the shows. You don't need to run 20-minute matches every week, Tony, and get the women featured on there and more. He's also addressed the runtime for Dynamite Collision, saying that they're going to stay at 2 hours with their occasional overrun, and we'll see how things work on Max. But the simulcast is going on this week, and he also talked about holding future events at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It was a really, really good show. The atmosphere was great. Go back there. I expect big things in 2025 for AEW. And lastly, Nick Gage. Well, two things. Nick Gage breaks his silence on the GCW split. He says it's fractured, but it will get healed. They will be working on things. And Omos will be wrestling in Pro Wrestling Noah. This is a good opportunity for him to go to Japan, get that working. He will be teaming up with Jack Morrison Challenge, Naomi Michi, Matafuji, and Takashi Sagura. So we'll see how that goes down on the injury side of things. Just 2 injuries. Alexander Hammerstone underwent successful knee surgery, so he will be out for the time being, and Macedona confirmed the severity of his ankle injury following Ring of Honor final battle. It's not serious, he's feeling better, so he will be wrestling in no time soon. But that is the news. It was a lot. We'll be right back with the Week in Review. Right, the Week in Review. Let's just dive into it. Monday Night Raw. This was an okay show. Nothing really great to talk about. Honestly, this show gets a thumbs down. But we open up with Drew, and he essentially says, "Look, who checked on him? The reason he was gone wasn't because of injuries. He had a death in the family, and not one person in the locker room checked on him, called him, asked him how he's doing, because they only really care about CM Punk." And he says that Sammy and the Usos are the real hypocrites, and he's coming after the real villains. Sammy comes out, tells Drew that he has no one to blame but himself, and Jay saves Sammy from a beat down. Io Sky defeated Natalya and Alba Fire to advance to the IC title tournament. I know there was a big push for Natalya to win here, but kind of got to go with hot hand and Io Sky. Dom wants Liv and Finn to stop fighting, so he'll step up. Sammy tells Jay that he'll deal with Drew McIntyre. Chad Gable defeated Akira Tozawa. Next up, he'll be facing his former protege Otis, who made the save for Tozawa. Damian Priest defeated Dominic Mysterio by DQ after the rest of the Judgment Day attacked him, and then the War Raiders made the save. Seth had an interview explaining himself a little bit more. And essentially, CM Punk is a cancer who tried to destroy this company, tried to destroy this business, and now that everything failed, now that he failed with everything else, he's coming back here, acting like nothing happened, and he needs to be taken out. Dexter Lumis defeated The Miz by DQ. The Wyatts made the save, so this is not over between the Wyatts and the Final Testament. The New Day get more heat. First things first, they tell Joe Tessitore to shut up. They tell Wade Barrett that he's just like Big E, that he won't be coming back into the ring. And then he says, they're in Boston, so he says, like, my mom here, she flew all the way from Ghana in the middle seat, but she turned her back on him. And Ray says, you know, they won't apologize to him, so they won't apologize to them. This was good. They knew they have super crazy major heat. In the main event, Drew McIntyre defeated Sami Zayn, the Bloodline, and then attacked and took out Sammy and Jay. Over on Dynamite, we had the World's End Go Home show. The show gets a fifth. So, Will Ospreay defeated Brody King to earn 3 points in the Continental Classic. Their Hurt Syndicate are banned from the building. Ricochet and Darby Allin fight to a time limit draw, which means Ricochet advances to the semifinals of the Continental Classic. Jay White will find a way, he says, to win that championship, the World Championship at World's End. Commander defeated Claudio Castagnoli to earn 3 points, getting his first win in his final match of the Continental Classic. The World Title Challengers then all made the save. Kazuchika Okada defeated Shelton Benjamin in a solid affair. He also earned 3 points. They showed respect to each other after the match. Swerve Strickland says he will rebound in 2025. And Ricochet says he's going to do something that Swerve didn't do, which is win the Continental Classic. And Swerve tells Ricochet, don't lose or I'm going to embarrass you. Tony Storm defeated Taya Valkyrie. Christopher Daniels lets Hangman know that I've known you for 15 years and that I've got your back. All right, the other dudes, they have people watching their back. You know what I mean? Mox has the Death Riders, Jay has the Bang Bang Gang, and Orange Cassidy has the Conglomeration. Who do you have? Kyle Fletcher defeated Dan Garcia to earn 3 points, and he earned a spot in the semifinals of the Continental Classic. In the main event segment, Jon Moxley says he is still king. He's going to take out these egos and shows that why he should be on top until someone takes him down. Over on SmackDown, because there was no Impact show this week, it was another best of show. This is the KO show. Nick Aldis demands KO return the championship as he's not the real champion. KO's like, no. Naomi and Bianca haven't forgotten about Jay's attacker. Nia points the finger at both Naomi and Bianca. Wouldn't it be crazy if they both attacked the Jade? That would be kind of hot. Bianca, Naomi, and Bayley defeated Nia, Tiffany, and Candice LeRae. Mello made fun of Sammy, so they'll have a match later in the evening. Braun Strowman defeated Austin Theory. KO says he will speak the truth again later in the evening. Chelsea Green's champion celebration is interrupted by Mi Chin. So it looks like this is the first feud for Chelsea Green. Pretty Deadly sells out Los Garza the Prophets, so they attacked him, and the Prophets ended up winning the match. The tag match. Andrade says he is not scared of Shinsuke Nakamura. Pretty Deadly and DIY agree to team up, but then the Motor City Machine Guns show up and say, in one, they tell the Prophets and their best they got next with the tag team titles. And Apollo Crews let the Prophets know that it was DIY that attacked them. Anybody can told you that. But I like this little grouping on the SmackDown tag team divisions. It looks a lot better than Raw's tag team division right now. That's on SmackDown. You got DIY, Pretty Deadly, Motor City Machine Guns, the Street Profits, A-Town Down Under. I think there's another team. Oh, you got Los Garzas. So they got about 6 or 7 good teams on SmackDown, whereas on Raw, all you really got is the Judgment Day and the War Raiders. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry, the New Day and the LWO, but you've seen it all before. Sami Zayn beat Mello by DQ after the Bloodline attacked him. In the main event segment, KO versus Cody is set for the Royal Rumble in the ladder match, as Cody requested this. And KO attacked Cody's neck once again. It sucks that KO's not going to win the title. This is going to be the 3rd or 4th year where he's been heated up and he's not given the World Championship. I don't like it. Over on Rampage, this was the final Rampage for the 4th seed. Future Jericho defeated Anthony Bowens after Matt Caster and Brian Keith were fighting over the championship, the Ring of Honor championship, and Caster accidentally hit Bowens with the championship. Private Party won a squash match, and then Leo Rush, Action Andretti were teamed. At Top Flight, all fought. Will Powerhouse South says he will end to catch this world. Thunder Rosa defeated Layla Gray. This was a solid affair. Hook defeated Nick Wayne in the main event segment. The Death Riders absolutely murdered Darby Allin. He put a chair around his neck and then threw him down the steps. And then the massive locker room brawl broke out with the men and the women. And the Death Riders shut down Rampage for good. It was a good way to end Rampage. Our matches of the week from Dynamite: Will Ospreay versus Brody King in the Continental Classic match. From World's End, Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. Mercedes Mone versus Kris for the TBS Championship. That was my favorite match of the evening. These two have really, really good chemistry together. And the finals of the Continental Classic, Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay. Our star of the week got to go with Okada and Kenny Omega, who made his return. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look at the screen what we got coming up. The schedule is going down. We got the cutters going on this weekend. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. I'll see you when I see you. Have a happy new year. Peace.